The river myth of Suluwen. She who rose when the land learned its name. Before the land was divided, before the rivers were straightened, before names were mistaken for ownership, the land already knew itself. The rivers spoke first, and when the rivers learned how, they brought forth Suluwen, the great emergence of the river deity. Now, she was born on this land. She didn't come from somewhere else. She emerged when the fresh water itself learned consciousness, where the great river system spread into countless fingers, where water forgets which way it formed. The land itself gave birth to a guardian, and the river people said, she is not a spirit in the water, she is the water remembering itself. She rose when the people first understood that water carries memory. Land records footsteps. Time does not move straight forward in lines. Suluwen became the living covenant between them. Not a ruler, not a possessor, not a covenant. And the people of the rivers themselves knew Suluwen lived within the water, not above it. And these were, as people, dark-skinned, matrilineal, non-hierarchical, semi-nomadic along waterways. They did not dominate the land, they listened to it. They built nothing meant to outlast the flood. They built lives meant to move when the land moved. So the elders taught that water is a teacher, floods are not punishment, disappearance is sometimes protection. Suluwen was not worshipped as a ruler, she was acknowledged as kin, as an expression of the culture. She is not a storm goddess, she's not an ocean queen, she's not a destroyer. She is the living river mind. She governs inland waters, flood cycles, memory embedded in landscape, identity that survives displacement. She presides over birth near water, seasonal migration, ancestral continuity, and the return of what was buried but not erased. Her power is persistence without conquest, and she commands not the river itself. She is the river when it remembers why it bends. Now, her form and mark are very distinctive. She appears as a woman shaped by the land itself. Skin dark as wet soil, hair flowing like braided rivers along channels, eyes said to be steady, reflective, and unhurried. The glowing markings on her body were not decorations, they were river maps, migration routes, agreements between people and land itself. They shift subtly, like water under moonlight, because the land itself changes. Her clothing is practical, ritual, and unadorned, made for waiting, bending, and waiting. She was barefoot because the land would recognize her touch and her weight. Now, within her law, it is known that she does not punish, she instead withdraws. When the water is disrespected, the rivers change course, the land becomes unfamiliar, and memory thins. People forget how to listen. Rivers are not her expression, so floods are not her anger, they're actually her correction into things. And the elders warn, if she leaves the surface, she remains below. Now, her relationship to time is also very specific. She moves at river speed, which is slow, patient, yet inevitable. And she remembers what should never be lost and lets go of what should not be carried forward. Those who dream of her do not receive instructions, they receive orientation. And she still dwells the land, she's never left. She remains wherever inlet rivers refuse straight lines. Deltas, floodplains, bayous, places that maps tend to oversimplify. People feel her as a pull towards water, a sense that the land is watching, a calm that arrives without any explanation. And the elders say, as long as the river remembers itself, she will always stand. She is not a symbol, she is not an echo, she is not defined by the absence or arrival. She is of this land, and this land has not finished